do sort of the unknown, right? So if we are parenting and we want to do it different, we have this engagement with both what we know, but also with what we don't know. And what we don't know is how to do it another way, usually. And when we're looking for our own way, it's helpful sometimes to know how we go about it. So in ecology, we kind of categorize things as either contributing to structure or function. Sometimes both. It's not an either or kind of thing. But when I was thinking about like writing, and that in a story we would cover who, what, where, how, why, when, the basic questions, that's also useful when we're considering how to move into something we don't know. And I was thinking about it in terms of there's both structure and function in those questions, right? Like how or what I'm doing. So how do I go about doing things? And what am I going after? Like, what am I doing? What am I wanting? What am I aiming at? What do I base my behavior on? Those questions are really structural elements, and they can help us if we're aware of how we do it. When we have a sense of certainty and we kind of know what we're doing, then it can also help us figure out how we might invoke that structure when we're not sure. And so I thought those were helpful, like reflection questions for ourselves. Like, how do I go about doing things? When I feel happy with how things turned out, how have I approached something? When I feel good about how an interaction goes with my kid, since we're usually talking about parenting here, we're often talking about our role as parent. And then we're saying like, oh, when I feel like I did a good parenting job in that moment, how did I go about it? How did I walk up to that situation? For me, it's often that I walked up with curiosity and questions rather than telling and whatever. I just notice those tend to go better for the age of children that I have right now. That's an age appropriate thing and requires some discernment about how you're going to go about doing what you want to do. But to just reflect like, oh, here in this moment or in the last 6 months, this is what seems to be working. This is how I've been approaching it. And so when we come to a situation where we have this sort of urge to kind of do something else, to either control or to punish or to tell, like, we can give ourselves like a little pause and say like, is this actually the thing that works with me? Does it work for me? Does it work for my kid? And really we can apply these to any relationships, right? So like, how do I approach things? And different people are going to have different needs and different ways that they respond well. But when we start to notice how we can go about things, we can almost make ourselves a list that says like, these are the ways that I can approach things, or these are the sort of places I can stand. I think of everything in these location terms, in terms of landscapes and things like that, but like, where can I stand so that I bring the process I really want to bring to the interaction? And then what do I go after? So what am I trying to get to here? And what are the important things for me? What are the values that I hold? Or what is my best outcome in the situation? Sometimes when we're not sure how to deal with something, or we have these urges to make it simple and just do the efficient thing, sometimes that throws relating out the door. And sometimes that's totally fine. There's no judgment in how we go about this, from me anyway. Like, I'm not judging because I think there's appropriate moments for things, and it's just a discernment process. But it's helpful to be able to be reflective and to know, how do I go about doing things when they're successful? And so what are the things worth repeating, basically? And what is it that I'm going after when I'm doing these things? So those are the structure questions. I'm going to make another video for function.